Cool. Thing. Great. Got it. You're good, man. Oh, that's something. And this thing is like doing it.
It's not, yeah,
Bouncing right.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, man.
We're out calling CQ in the flea market room right now, Yuri. CQ, 4 room 2. CQ Yuri, CQ Yuri, CQ Yuri. There he is.
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. We are too. The floor is yours, sir. CQ Yuri, CQ Yuri, CQ Yuri.
Okay. Good morning and nice to meet you all. Thanks to Mitch for invite. That's all? I mean, anybody else coming? Okay. So again, good morning. I'm happy to be here and let me start my so-called presentation. I just returned from Fox Mike 2 days ago. Didn't have much time to prepare, but I hope you'll find it interesting. Anyway, as probably all of you know, WRTC is kind of ham radio Olympic Games. Fox Mike 2 days ago. Didn't have much time to prepare, but
We're having a little audio issue. Hold on just 1 second.
all right. Probably all of you know, WRTC is kind of ham radio Olympic game. 2 days ago, didn't have much time to prepare.
We're having a little audio issue. Hold on just 1 second.
That would be a bad idea.
All right. Probably all of you know, WRTC is kind of ham radio Olympic game.
Yes, they are, but it's, I have to get the audio.
We're having a little audio issue. Hold on just 1 second.
All right. Probably all of you know, WRTC is kind of ham radio Olympic game.
Yes, they are.
We're having a little audio issue.
Bottom left.
All right.
No, left. The other left. Okay. All right, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're all set.
Okay. Are you hearing me okay now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. So WRTC is a ham radio Olympics, which is being held once in 4 years. And with exception being 2002 in Finland, they decided to conduct it between the event in Slovenia 2000 and event in Brazil 2006, just to catch up with Sunspot cycle. Anyway, our 2022 WRTC, which is actually was postponed another year and was held in 2023. It was started in Germany 5 years before, when I first met my future partner, UW7LL. His name is Yarik, short from Yaroslav. And in 2018 in Germany, it was my 7th WRTC in a row. I've been to 7 WRTCs with 5 different partners before. And at that time, in 2008, I met Yarik for the first time. He was a part of the UW7LL US2YW Ukrainian team. And despite being rookies, they did pretty well, and they made it into the top 10, beating us and many other, WRTC veterans. So we became friends and we started to communicate. Despite being very young, Yarik is very technically skilled and talented engineer. He runs his own business in Ukraine called Double L, and the website name is hamdevices.com. So we did a couple of projects together, and for the second time we met in 2021 when I visited Kiev. At that time, we decided to team up together because my previous partner, UR0MC, decided to go with another guy. He qualified and he chose as a partner US2YW Slava, who is also known as UW5Y, United Whiskey 5 Yankee. Anyway, so for different reasons, we couldn't qualify from our respected areas, but we had the good hopes for a wild card. And historically, wild card spots were granted to those who couldn't qualify, but who achieved some pretty good scores between the qualification dates during the qualification period. So let me start with a little. Okay, do you see the pictures now? Okay. Just let me know if you see the pictures. Okay, so here our photo in Germany, 2018. As you see in the middle, two guys in the middle are Yarik, the tall guy in a white t-shirt, and myself in a blue t-shirt. That's where we first met. And then we met only once after that in 2021 when I visited Kiev, and we discussed a few different projects and decided to team up together. Unfortunately, our hopes for wildcard didn't realize because our Italian friends, they had their own understanding of wildcard, and they invited 8 participants from Europe, 5 being from Bulgaria. I don't know why and for what reasons, but that closed the door not even for us, but for such a great and good operators like Dan and Six Mike Japan or Chris Killer Lima 9 America, who couldn't qualify either, and they were previous champions in 2014 and bronze medal winners in 2018 in Germany. Anyway, so
I have him on Facebook. I'm trying to reach, but
It appears that we lost Yuri. We're just gonna wait and see if he connects back in. It looks like there was a connection problem on his end, so stay tuned.
Hello?
Yep, we got you back.
Yeah, I apologize. For some reasons, I had power outage.
Oh no,
Never happened before, but okay.
that's
So
okay. You didn't lose a single attendee while you were gone, so don't worry.
okay, good. So let me just find out my presentation again, because okay, just give me another minute, okay?
Absolutely, take your time.
Okay. I need to restart everything here. Okay, I think I'm back. You see pictures?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so let's continue. As all of you know, exactly 2 years from now, 2 years ago, Russia started its aggression against Ukraine and occupied part of Ukrainian territory, and that unfortunately included the best Ukrainian contest station location, which belonged to UR0MC. He had to flee to Kiev, the capital, and it was becoming more and more obvious he wouldn't be able to go to Italy, after all of that. And anyway, the pressure started to ban Russian participants from WRTC. Even our Ukrainian company, Rig Expert, who was one of the sponsors of WRTC 2022, they had to withdraw their sponsorship. Anyway, during that time, me and Yarek, we spoke on the phone almost every day, discussing, the situation and what we should do. But despite everything, we decided to go to WRTC as referees. We even filled and emailed the applications for the referees. But then we saw something that changed everything. One of the few spots at WRTC were granted to so-called sponsored teams. And in order to get a spot, the team should pay 15,000 euros for that one spot. And one day we saw that among those 5 spots, 4 were taken, with the last 4th team being from Russia. And that kind of that did strike us, and we decided, well, if Russians can do that, why can't we? So I offered Yarek to try, because there was our only chance to go there, but there was no way that we could collect that amount of money by ourselves. So we decided to start the money collecting campaign, and of course with the permission of WRTC committee, we started fundraisers, and we were overwhelmed with the response. The first serious sponsor was your closest neighbor, Howard V2 Alpha Echo Delta, and his wife Michelin KM6FOH. They even came to my town of Niagara on the Lake, all the way from Quebec, just to get acquainted, and we spent a nice couple of days. So he made a pretty significant contribution. And we also decided to run a website where we explained our goals, the situation, and where we were publishing all the sponsor, all our donors, as you see. We had probably up to 100 people donating from $5 to probably 100, with some even donating more than that. Our main sponsors, despite Howard V2 AED and his wife, was Olaf G0CKV, who contributed a significant amount. Also, my good friend and neighbor across Niagara River, Tony K2NV, and then our Ukrainian company Rig Expert, and our well-known ham radio guy and football player or soccer player and coach Sergey UT5UDX, who's also known as Papa 3 X-Ray in different contests. They closed the gap. So by the end of 2002, let's say sometime in November, we had enough money to contribute to WRTC committee, and we became the team, the donor team number 5, we got the last spot. By that time, many teams were already getting ready. Some of them even traveled to Italy to participate in the IRU contest a year before. But we only met with my partner twice in person, and we had to expedite our preparations. But like I said, Jarek is a very technically skilled guy. So we decided to choose a pair of K3s as our main radios, and also like through a couple of our mutual friends, we managed to get in touch with Andrea, IK4 Victor Echo Tango, who invited us to come and participate in the Italian ARI contest as a preparation, as a rehearsal for WRTC. For that, he talked to another Italian, Claudio, IK2YCW, who owns a very good and well-maintained station close to the area where WRTC would be conducted. And he invited us to come and spend a few days at his place. So as you may see, his antennas are pretty sophisticated. So we had a hard time to choose which antenna to use to simulate our WRTC participation, because it required only a tri-bander and 40-meter and 80-meter dipoles. But he did that for us, and as you may see in the next photo, he even installed a separate table for us just to play with all our setup. And we brought everything with us, all the equipment. And to be honest with you, that was crucial in our preparation. Without it, I think we couldn't even participate on a high level, not even talking winning. Andre IK4VT, he even came to us during the contest, and he was advising us about the propagation, for example, oh, don't you guys forget about turning your antenna to Japan at 2100 Zulu. The Japanese are coming on 15 over the long pass, something like that. Anyway, these two gentlemen, IK4VET and IK2YCW, were a big part of our success. Also, we tested some new devices that Jarek developed specifically for the contest. One of them being a band decoder / controller, which would work not only as a band decoder, but also as a CAT interface. So at any moment of time, we would know who would be on what band, as you may see from that display. Anyway, that happened in May, and it only sounds easy, but unfortunately we had to face one big problem. With the start of the war, all the male population between age 18 and 60 were not allowed to leave Ukraine. So we had to apply for special permission for Jarek, and up until the very last moment, he was not sure that he could go and participate. But anyway, we reunited in May, and so it was our third meeting in person. We never operated together, and that was a very good rehearsal, because I found out that Jarek on phone, Jarek is yelling like crazy. So I had to buy new noise-resistant headphones for the contest. Otherwise, I I couldn't even copy station when he would be on sideband. Anyway, it was my first trip to Italy, and we had another couple of days after the contest to enjoy sightseeing the town of Bologna and Mantova. As we see, as you see, we spent a nice day walking around the city, and we spotted even a couple of ham radio antennas on the roof. So that was the preparation. Here comes the WRTC. It happened in July during the IARU contest. Unfortunately, again, we had to apply for another permission for Yarik, and it wasn't easy, but again, we did that, and we even were able to include a few other guys in our Ukrainian delegation. So on this photo, you see all 6 people who were at WRTC. Well, I live in Canada and I'm over 60, so for me it wasn't a problem. But for all other guys, we had to apply for special permit. Here, as you may see from left to right, UT2II, who came as a guest, then myself, then Yarik, UW7LL, then Andy, United Whiskey 8 Sugar Mike, who was the only referee from Ukraine, and 2 guys who were a support team, UR7EU and UT5ECW. Here we, of course, we met a lot of our old friends at WRTC. Here on the picture, we're with Lima Yankee 4 Alpha, who owns a big station in Lithuania. Anyway, here comes the day of draw. The Friday morning was the draw of the locations and the call signs. So being very lucky, as usually, we chose one of the most distant locations, which was very far in the province of Calabria. I think that was the only location that was in Calabria. It took probably good 3 hours from us driving there, and here we are. The location is one of the so-called agriculture turismo locations, which indeed was like small hotel in the middle of nowhere, but it was very well maintained with air conditioning and nice bedrooms. So here's our spot. Emilia Romagna, it said. Oh, that was where the main WRTC was conducted. Anyway, the host was very helpful, a young lady. She provided everything that we needed. Here you may see our antenna, which is a tri-bander up about 35 feet with 2 dipoles right underneath that antenna. Our biggest asset, though, was our referee. We were, by the draw, of course, we were blessed with Italian referee, very well-known contester, Stefano, IK2 Quebec Echo India, who some of you may know by Charlie Norway 3 America. He is one of the trustees and the main operators. He was not only knowledgeable and skilled about contesting, which is very important, but he also helped us to solve a lot of problems. For instance, as you probably all heard from previous WRTC reports, a lot of locations, they had local noise. and we were not exception. And with darkness, our noise level peaked probably S7, S8, which made 80 and 100, 80 and 40 meters practically unusable. But we didn't even have to ask, but Stefano disappeared for a couple of hours. Then when he returned, our noise level dropped to S3. And we said, "What did you do?" I said, "Okay, don't worry, guys. Just concentrate on your contest." Anyway, him and the host, I will show her later. They're a big part of our success too. As you may see, you got to be lucky with a lot of things because WRTC is such event that probably good half of the operators deserve to win. They all the best of the best, and they know what to do. So it narrows down to some few factors like a good location, equipment failure, and such. Fortunately, we didn't have anything. Here's another guy came to visit us just before the contest. You see in the middle, Andrea, IK4VET. Unfortunately, he broke his hand right before the contest, so he couldn't even participate. Anyway, here's our host. Unfortunately, I don't remember her name. I have to look, but she was a big part of our success. She fed us like I don't know. We had enough food to feed probably 5 different teams, and whatever we needed or whatever we wanted, she was always there. Anyway, it was time to start setting up a station. As you may see, we had a very comfortable room with air conditioner. So in that regards, we were lucky too, because some of the other teams, they had locations in garages, some hangars or stuff like that. So here's our setup. Two Elecraft K3s with I had a P3 pan adapter. Yarek has some kind of home brew pan adapter built in into his laptop. Triplexer with a set of bandpass filters, so nothing really special. And we had spares for everything. We had spare triplexer, we had spare K3, which actually we used because one of our main K3s failed right before the start of the contest, probably a couple of hours. The power disappeared, so we just replaced it with spare, and there you go. So another must-have is a spare for almost everything. Here's our antenna, and we had to rearrange the coaxes a little bit because initially the coax of the tribender was touching the one of the legs of the 40-meter dipole, which was not good. So as we were not allowed to touch the antennas themselves, with some, twigglings, we managed to move that coax away from 40-meter dipole about I don't know, a couple of inches, but that was enough. All of the teams they reported interruptions, and we were no exceptions. So we had to use all kind of RF chokes, as you may see on the right photo. Yarek is winding RF choke on the empty water bottle, and here's how we operated. Those two pictures were taken during the action, and I just want you to note the RF choke to the right from the flags. RF choke wound on an empty water bottle. So we had RF chokes everywhere. And here's Stefano. He was not allowed to let us know how we doing, but as soon as we started to fall asleep in the morning, he used that gift that we gave him. That's a weapon, old Ukrainian weapon. So he was trying to keep us, awake, threatening with that tool, and also preparing a good strong coffee for us. Anyway, during the contest, we didn't know how we were doing, but in my opinion, we were doing well because we had no like major failures, and we were trying to change bands pretty often, and we tried to move multipliers like crazy from band to band. And when the contest ended, Stefano asked us, how do you think you did? I said, well, I think we're pretty much okay. Should be in the top 10. And then he said, you won. I said, no, no way. I couldn't believe that until we came back to the hotel. But anyway, after the long log checkings and other stuff, it appeared that we had enough to remain on the first place. And there you go. On the closing ceremony, we were declared the winning team, number 1. Here's on the picture, you see myself, Yarik, and Claudio, I4VEQ. I want to tell you more about this guy. As there was a lot of criticism for WRTC 2022 organizers, I must confess that this WRTC was probably almost completely on the shoulders of this guy, I4VEQ. He was the one who worked behind the scene. He was the one who was choosing all the locations, and he tested them driving from one to another by himself. So this guy deserves a lot of credit for the fact that WRTC 2022 even happened. Anyway, here's another photo from the podium, and also we had I forgot to mention another Ukrainian fellow. As you may see on the left photo, the young guy, 17-year-old Art UR5YKO. He was a part of the youth team. He lives in Spain now, but he's from Ukraine, and he had to escape because of the war. And they were winning youth team together with Yankee Lima 3 Juliet Alpha. Anyway, so here we go, gold winner, I4 whiskey. That was our call sign. And again, we were so grateful to people who helped us to achieve that. First of all, our sponsors, I repeat, that was Rig Expert Ukraine, UT5 UDX, VE2 Alpha Echo Delta, G0 CKV, K2NV, and many, many others, which you may see at our website, hemdevices.com/WRTC. And just after the contest, our host, Claudio, IK2YCW, he prepared a big surprise for us. He threw a party in our honor, where he invited all the people who were involved in preparation, as you may see, and his family and the families of the other guys like IK2QW, IK4VT. and they even made a cake for us. So we were very happy. And there you go. As the war in Ukraine still continues, we are happy to contribute just our little bit towards the great people of Ukraine, and we devoted our win to Ukrainian people and its armed forces. So that's it, and now I'm happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions? Yeah, well, the camera mic is on.
Greetings. How did you decrease, or how did your host decrease the S units, 5S units on the noise on site? You mentioned they disappeared and came back.
Yes, we didn't have time ourselves to deal with that because we had a couple of other issues. But what he did, being Italian, he managed to speak with the owner, and with her together, they inspected all the lights in the area. You know, there are a lot of LED lights that produce noise. So what he actually ended up with, he just shut down the few. I think he had a portable receiver as an indicator tuned to AM band, and they just found those few LED lights that were the most noisy, and they just simply shut it down temporarily. That's from what I know.
You want to?
Any other questions?
Is there anyone online that has a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Yuri.
Hi.
When is the next one and where is it? And are you participating in the next WRTC?
Yes, thank you. Next WRTC, as a tradition, at the closing ceremony, they usually announce the next WRTC host, and this time is going to be England. It's going to be in England in 2026, so not much time left. Fortunately, we don't have to qualify anymore because per rules, as a winning team, we are invited to take part. So all we need to do now is sit back, relax, watch other people fighting for their spots. And yes, we are going to be in England 2 years from now. The only problem, like I said, Yarek is 34 years old, and technically he still may be called to army because there is still a war, unfortunately, that is going on in Ukraine. Unless Ukraine will win, but hypothetically, he might be called for army. So that's our only hypothetical problem. Other than that, we're ready.
I think that's all the questions that we have on this end, Yuri. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us. We appreciate you coming and presenting here at HamCon.
Thank you, and I apologize for that glitch for a few minutes, but I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you. 73.
That was a very ham radio thing to do. 73, Yuri. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.